So who the heck is Thors Snorrenson? So Thors is the father of Thorfinn, who's the main character on this series, anime series, and he's also a former Yom Viking warrior, actually a captain to be more specific. So in this series, we just see we see Thor's, as an amazing dad, amazing husband, amazing father, loving on his children, his wife, taking care of stuff, in their snowy area of, well, in Iceland that they live. So he looks like a great guy, really amazing person overall. I'd love to have him as my neighbor, help clean out the snow whenever it snows. But that being said, Thor's was not always this way. Way back when he was younger, we see that Thors was actually following pretty dedicatedly, if I can use that word, in the Viking way. As in, if this guy, no one stands in his way on the battlefield, cut down person after person. Just his sword alone is, dangerous. That being said, he does hit a wall at some point, and something happens. Something different from what he's used to on the battlefield. He starts to change, like on the inside, and that change leads him to abandon his sword and then just flee with his family to Iceland so they can live there peacefully. Thors is this new Thors, who's no longer on the battlefield. It's a whole different person altogether. I mean, talk about generosity. Like when a slave escapes and lands on their front steps or front doorstep, and the master comes to take the guy back, Thor doesn't hesitate to give up like two of his sheep.
Huh. 見つけたぞ。無作法は許せよ、トールズ。俺はその奴隷の正当な所有者だ。返してもらおう。ふん。くたばり損ないに羊8頭とはな。ち。いい取引だぜ。
嘘。商談成立。
トールズ、それでそいつの鎖を解いてやったつもりか。それでそいつをどこへ連れて行く？
Even though the slave ends up dying, and they couldn't really save him, but he gives those two valuable resources up, because it's sheep can give you wool and it's really cold where they live, so that's kind of really valuable. But he gives up those resources because he doesn't want that slave to go back into captivity. Like that is just, oof, that's unreal. Honestly, it's spectacular. Even his daughter is like, "Why did you do that? It doesn't make a logical sense." And we also see that Thors is not a slouch in the strength department. Like there's strong, and then there's Thors. Like this guy, this guy bodies Thorkel seriously, and we all know Thorkel is just crazy strong. Now this stuff happens like in what I would call Thor's awakened form, and that's just something that, and him awakening is something that happens when he starts walking the path and asking the question, like at least understanding what it means to be a true warrior.
父上を知ってるのか？
知ってるも何も。世界でただ一人の俺より強い男。本当の戦士だ。
So did you ever wonder about that title nickname that Thors has, Troll of Yom? So in the world of fantasy, trolls are hard creatures that are difficult to kill because they can regenerate from nearly any wound, just about. So from the scars, you can see that Thors has accumulated throughout his career, or at least life on the battlefield. He's clearly tough enough to have earned that nickname in combat, I guess. So as we see who Thors is in the village, he's, they knew him, they awakened him. He's clearly, loved by all, if that means anything. He The villagers love him, his family loves him, his children love him. He's definitely a hero to his son Thorfinn, and we really see that redemption can have a profound effect on a human being. It's kind of like Bankai for Bleach or Super Saiyan for DBZ, except it's real, as in like its effects on you are real. Like it'll take the person to a higher level than where they were before, and even just push them to something beyond who they really are right now. So the question is, how did Thors go from battle hardened warrior to a man who could sacrifice himself to keep his son alive? We'll unpack that question in a little bit, but first things first, we're just going to talk about what is the definition of the R word, and by R word I mean redemption.